Hello, everybody. Thank you for being patient while we weathered some technical difficulties with the internet tonight, but we are here. So we're so glad you're here with us too. Hi, all. I am Lisa, and um, am the founder and creator of the Oklahoma Indian Festival. And we have decided to take things online this year to give our artists a chance to meet with all of you. Tonight, we have two wonderful artists who come to us from Skiatook, Oklahoma, Veronica and Katelynn. And let me bring them on so that you can meet them all. Hello, ladies. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Little frightening there for a minute when we weren't connecting to the internet, but to Facebook. But I'm glad we're all here tonight. I'm glad you could join us.
Yeah, thank you.
Not a, so, Veronica,
Mhm.
could you briefly tell us? We know you're from Skiatook, but tell us what tribe you represent or tribes, and what your art form is. And if you want to, tell us what your day job is, because a lot of people don't realize artists sometimes have day jobs too.
Yeah, my name is Veronica Pipestem, and I'm an enrolled Oto, Missouri citizen. I'm also an Osage headright holder and a Potawatomi descent. And I am a full-time archivist by day. So I'm have a very long-term interest in my job. So it's kind of nice to be able to do something um, like beadwork, which is what I work on, that doesn't take so long as archiving, which is also kind of almost never done. So, but anyway, so getting into that, I primarily do bead weaving, and I make earrings. Sometimes I make bracelets and other things, but earrings mostly.
Would that be a pair of your earrings that you're wearing tonight?
Yes, it is. It is one of my pairs of earrings. I don't know if you can see it very well in this light, but
It's wonderful. Julie says hi. She's another artist down near Shakota, and she's just popped on and says hello to you all. Um, so, and we have Katelynn with us too. Katelynn, you're actually a college student, aren't you?
Yes, I am a full-time graduate student, and it's very interesting because um, so I'm supposed to be in St. Louis right now, but everything is online. So I'm actually at home in Skiatook. I go to the Washington University in St. Louis, where I study social work. So
Well, that's a very much needed thing these days, isn't it?
yes, 100%.
And what is your art form, Caitlin?
So I primarily do Parfleche work, also known as rawhide, mostly working with cow and buffalo hide, thanks to my dad, who is a master drum maker. I take a lot of his leftover pieces and then I turn them into jewelry, bracelets, earrings. I've made belts. I've done regalia pieces. I made a couple boxes. Basically, anything you can think of, um, I have probably made before.
Well, that sounds, I'd love to see some of that. Do you have anything with you tonight?
Yes, I've got a couple of bracelets that will be for sale on Saturday. And a lot of the, when it comes to hide, I usually line it with trade cloth. Um, so it just depends. And then I usually lace it with either deer skin. What I found really interesting that's been super strong is kangaroo leather.
Really?
Yeah. So just depends. It's what's been stronger, what will hold tighter. Another bracelet here. Um, I don't have any of the bigger pieces that I've created, but I mean earrings. You can just about do anything with Parfleche. So
And for those who
there's a
don't know,
closer look at
Parfleche,
it.
basically means from the flesh, doesn't it? Or from the skin.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So how did you get started, Katelynn?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, my dad, he makes drums. I've always just kind of made some dance regalia. I started making bone necklaces when I was younger, like I think early high school years, making bandoliers. And then just about 2 years ago, I just kind of noticed that Parfleche work was kind of beginning to show up again. I know a lot of people think of Parfleche and they think it's 100, 200 years old, and you see those really old bags, or that you only think of rawhide on drums. So I just thought, I think I want to start doing this. And I started out making purses, and then I kind of got into making just jewelry and fashion pieces. And then I just kind of fell in love with the process, and I kind of liked keeping the connection between my dad as a drum maker, and kind of being a legacy in that sense. And just it kind of makes me feel connected to him more, that when he makes those drums and he has leftover pieces, I can then continue to use the rest of those pieces and turn it into jewelry or whatever other order or commission that I get. So yeah, that's kind of why I got into it, and I've had some fans and supporters along the way, and it just kind of made me more motivated to continue doing the work. It's definitely not as trendy as beading or loom work or different types of categories of native art, but I think I want to use that to my advantage to make it more popular again, as it was used to use the whole buffalo for everything. So yeah, I
I was
definitely
waiting for you to say that, to use all of it.
yeah, it's very
So it's a connection to heritage, culture, and to family for you to make your Parfleche jewelry and other pieces. And is that important for you to connect in that way?
yeah. I'm also, so this is my aunt, and so I'm related to her through my dad, my paternal side. So I'm Osage, Ottomazura, and Potawatomi as well, but I'm also Southern Cheyenne and Zia Pueblo. And so I just, kind of think about, my people back in the day, that they were doing a lot of the same work. And you can even see a lot of museum pieces and how long it's lasted. And so it kind of makes me feel good that, when I create these pieces, that I'm connecting to that past in some form of way, and also continuing to just use the hide. And whether, if I ever have kids someday, that they will have a grandpa who is my dad, that will be able to kind of teach them those things as well, because it's definitely an art it's not very common at all, and people will kind of turn their heads and be like, what is Parfleche, or what's rawhide. Definitely not as trendy, but I'm working on that.
And how about you, Katelynn? I mean, Veronica, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
It happens all the time.
We're used to it.
Well, I'm glad I didn't call anybody by a name they didn't like. So Veronica, you said you worked as an archivist.
Mhm.
And how does that connect to your art, and or how do they intertwine together?
So I guess there is a good connection there, because one of the things that I do all the time in my profession is worry about the long-term care of objects, so in perpetuity. And so that is something that I guess is kind of translated into the beadwork that I do and the off-loom bead weaving that I do. And so here's a couple of examples of my work. Sorry, don't mind my Band-Aid. So this is off-loom bead weaving. When we talk about that, I don't use a loom. It's all done by hand. And something that I really try to pay attention to is materials and durability. So there's a couple other examples there. But that's something, again, that I do something that it's going to take years or a very long time to kind of realize the effects of my daily work. And so this is kind of a nice break for me to do something that's a little more immediate and short term, that I can start on something and be done with it in a day or two. And so it's hard to follow Katelynn's story because I don't have a story like that. But I think one of the reasons I like beadwork is it's really therapeutic for me. Again, to do something where I can just say that's kind of repetitive, and it starts in one night and it may be done in 2 or 3 nights later. But also, it's nice to be able to look at a finished product and say that it's going to be fairly durable, but it also looks kind of delicate. And so I love beadwork. That's something I've always been interested in. But I don't really care. My personal style is not to wear big jewelry. So I'm not really a big jewelry wearer. So I try to make things. I know there's other people out there that are like me that love beadwork, but maybe they don't like the big size of jewelry. And so I try to make kind of smaller things or things of different sizes. I certainly can make big jewelry, but I try to make things that are pretty flexible and where they can be worn, and that have a certain composition, I guess, that like, I don't know, aesthetic I think is a little different. So that's how I got started. And as I said, well, I really like beadwork, but I don't like, I guess I'll just have to make my own.
So when you're talking about a style and aesthetic, how does your color choice play into that? I've noticed that some artists really choose traditional colors and some may choose a palette that is current. So what's your take on that?
I think a lot of my color choice is, of course, we're Osage. And if you look at Osage clothing, for one, matching is not a requirement. That's kind of Osages don't have to match.
Right.
But I also beadwork, or excuse me, ribbon work patterns. And if you look at the taffeta ribbon that people use, I think a lot of that is informed in my color choices too. And we have old ribbon work and old beadwork from my grandparents and great grandparents. And I've looked at those things, and the colors are just older. If you look at beaded blankets and things like that, it's hard to find beads that color anymore. But that's something I try to kind of get closer to, or I try to put colors that people don't normally put together and see if it works. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. So
I like all the color choices you have. So, I mean, it works for me. I just noticed that your color choices are different from other people, and I was wondering what influenced that. Katelynn, to talk about what influences your patterns and color choices, what influences your patterns? I noticed your Parfleche has beautiful designs, and it's true. You should be proud of it. And I didn't know what influenced your designs, though. Where you got your inspiration? Do you draw from the past, or do you create something new?
I think I definitely like to have a fashion mindset, as in I normally don't make 2 or even several pairs or designs of all at once. I usually try to make 1 pair of earrings, and then the only time I will ever duplicate a piece is if someone specifically orders it, or I'm making multiple commissions for one person. I've done that before. But I try to be in the fashion sense that if someone's going to wear this, no one else is going to have it, because I personally like to have something that no one else has, and I like to wear things that no one else has, because in a sense that's it's rare, and it's more of a fashion sense. But it just depends. When I get commissions, I usually definitely influence people to, if they've got a family design to let me know, and then I draw it up, and then I just kind of put that on my work. And I respect that it's their family design, so I would never ever duplicate it. But for me, I've had several commissions that are Cheyenne designs, and those are probably the hardest designs I've had to replicate, but they're my favorite because I'm just like, oh, again, tying back to like what my people used to do. This is just like, oh, they used to be these types of things, but I'm also like putting it on this rawhide, and so I kind of making that connection too. But yeah, I usually try to keep it rare and unique as possible. And this is so new to me, this Parfleche work, that sometimes I'm just like, I'm not gonna make the same simple thing, but I usually will try to at least twist colors around if I'm going to do that. If just depends on what people like, because I have also realized what I like, some people may not like at all, and it'll be like the reversal of something I created that I really didn't like, and it's like, and then people are like, oh, I love this, and so I try to also keep that in mind too when I create my things and the designs that I choose.
You said something that caught my ear in that you do commissions. So that's something a lot of people like to know about, especially the holiday shopping season is coming up. And so people could have contact you to get a custom piece. Is that right?
Yes. I accept orders basically all year round. I usually tend to get busy around holidays or Christmas. But I enjoy it. I feel so flattered and honored when people come to me to create things for them, even if it's because I still love doing bow necklaces. I still love making jewelry that's not even Parfleche jewelry. I try to be more advanced in other crafts as well. But yeah, I do commissions just about anything. People will send me pictures of other artists' work, and they're like, what can you do, or can you replicate this but doing it in your own style? And that's like so honorable in my opinion that I'm like, okay, yeah, like I will do it. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm a little nervous here because like I honestly don't know what they're gonna like. And when I come out and when I get finished with it, I usually end up really loving the piece that I did, and they do too. So
oh, good. It's good to hear. And Veronica, have you ever done one piece that you just was hard for you to give away or to sell, or?
Yes, I just recently sold a pair of earrings that I was going to keep for myself if they never sold, but we have a lot of the pileated woodpeckers that outside, the red and black and white ones, and they always just kind of strike my eye when I see them. So I made an earring, and if I had a picture, I do have a picture, but they just sold, so I don't have them anymore, and I can't hold them up. But I made kind of a little homage to the woodpecker, just because I think that they're beautiful, and they're so big, and they do have a special meaning to our people too. And so that was one of the things that I had trouble parting with. But the person that got them is a wonderful person, so I'm glad that she wanted them. So.
And she probably appreciated the meaning behind and the work behind the earrings too, right?
I hope so, yes.
Okay. I do want to come back on for just a second, everybody. If you're just joining us now, or if you've been with us the whole time, this is the Oklahoma Indian Festival. We are supposed to be an in-person event in November, but it's looking like we're going to be continuing online. This Saturday, we have got another online marketplace coming up. Veronica and Katelynn will both be with us Saturday, showing off what they have, as well as about 5 of their artists. So we hope you can join us Saturday, 1:30 Oklahoma time, and meet all of the great artists. Be sure to sign up for the email list. The links are in the comments and on the event, as well as on the Facebook page. You can sign up, and then you'll get the access to the Zoom that way. or join us here on Facebook if that works out better for you. Um, I'm going to quickly check and see if there are any questions on the live feed and see if anybody has anything going on here. So let me bring you both back up. And sorry, guys, I'm working everything by myself tonight. So let's see. Don't know if so somebody said they loved your earrings. I don't know which ones those were, but
Well, thank you on behalf of both of us, whoever that was.
yeah. So, well,
Katelynn wants to show off a piece that she did for my partner a couple of years ago now, wouldn't it? And this always gets good.
Here, hold on just a second. I'm gonna pin your video so everybody can see that.
Yeah.
Darth Vader.
There's some big Star Wars fans around here. I did recently also make a Baby Yoda bolo tie. That was fun. But yeah, as soon as I posted it, it was sold within an hour. But I try to be careful with copyright. So
yes,
fun pieces, but yeah.
Yeah, as a librarian, I was talking to her about copyright infringement. So
yeah. Gotta know about all the copywriting stuff. It's a lot of artists will make things and don't realize, somebody else owns that copyright.
mm-hmm.
I am trying to get this shared a couple places. So why, one more question before we go for this evening. Why do you make your art? Either one of you can answer that one, Veronica or Katelynn.
Mine is more just a therapeutic. I mean, I make it because I enjoy it. And I hope that as much enjoyment as I get out of making it and just the challenges of structuring a piece of jewelry, because there is a little bit of engineering that goes on in these when you have a picture in your head of what you want to make and then that execution. But I get an enjoyment out of that. And so I hope that people enjoy wearing this as much as I enjoy making it.
Your turn, Katelynn. We're going to put you on the spot.
I would definitely agree that it's therapeutic. Someone who's in social work, I am totally an advocate for mental health and self-care. But also, this is, again, just not a widely used craft. You don't see a lot of artists, as many beaders, as many Parfleche artists. And again, this is something, if I ever have kids or, if I ever have nieces and nephews, this is something I want to, like my dad has shown me some of the ways that he's learned with drums, I've been able to use for my artwork. So it's just kind of a generational thing. I definitely want my whoever nieces and nephews or my kids to be able to have that kind of connection to my dad, if they ever don't get the chance to. But it's just something that motivates me, that it's not a widely used craft, and I hope it will become trendy as much as beading does. Maybe one day.
Right. I am seeing more of the Parfleche out there, and the work is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, all the artists who dabble in or have started in Parfleche, I mean, it is very different from what everyone's used to seeing versus the other jewelry that's out there, but it is well worth your time to check out. Before we go, I just wanted to double have you tell everybody. I know you're putting it in the comments, but also, where's the best place to contact you or find your creations at? Veronica?
For me, I go to my personal Facebook page. My name is Veronica Pipestem, but you can even better just buy directly from my Etsy shop, which is etsy.com/shop/HCMV creations. And that's why I put it in the comments.
You beat me to it.
Yeah, the spelling can get tricky. So that's where you can find me.
Yeah. And I will post that in the event as well, and for today, as well as the event on Saturday. So you'll have those direct links in the events. How about you, Katelynn? Where's the best place to get a hold of you? To either do a custom order?
To put in a custom order, you can definitely add me on Facebook at Katelynn Pipestem. I do have a Facebook page as well. It's for people who are having probably a hard time pronouncing it. It's Visiva. It's my Cheyenne Indian name. So it is VIHSIVVAH artistry, ARTISTRY. And then I have that is my Facebook page. I also have an Instagram. I do a lot of commissions through there as well. And it's also Visiva, VIHSIVVAH_art. And I also have an Etsy shop as well. So etsy.com/shop/ same as Facebook, VIHSIVVAH artistry. You can contact me on all 3 of those platforms.
Okay. Feel free to put those in the comments yourself, and I'll make sure they get in there, and we'll be sending out an email with all of your contact information to you for everybody who's subscribed to the email list. If you have not subscribed to the email list, recommend it. You'll get all the contact information of where to find our artists, how to purchase what they have. You also get that magic Zoom link, and you can join us right here in Zoom and type your questions in the Zoom group chat if you want to. We make sure those all get answered on Saturday. And if you can't do that, join us on Facebook. We really appreciate you all, and hope you join us on Saturday. And come back and see Katelynn and Veronica and all of our other artists. So at this point, I'd like everyone to say good night or goodbye in whatever language you choose to. So, Wado.
We'll see you again.
We'll see you.